Bienvenidos a esta presentación del pretérito. This video will talk about a group of irregulars in the present tense. Some teachers refer to this group as car-gar-zar verbs. ¿Cómo se pronuncia estas palabras? In English, a G has two sounds, a hard G and a soft G. Gopher and gas both have a hard G sound because the G in gopher precedes an O, the G in gas precedes an A. In front of an E, however, the G is pronounced J, as in the word gem. Spanish G's also have two pronunciations, depending on which vowel comes after the G. Gorra and gato are a hard G sound similar to the English hard G, but in Spanish the way to say twins is gemelos. In front of an E, the G has an H sound, gemelos. In English, a C has a K sound or an S sound. In front of the words comb and cash, it's a hard G because of the O and the A. But in the word center, it is an S sound because of the E that follows it. In Spanish, comer, cantar have a K sound, while centro has an S sound. Tocar is a CAR verb, a car verb. When we take off the AR, we would normally add an E for the yo form. If we add an E, it would be pronounced tose. We want to keep the original sound of the infinitive, which is a K sound, and to solve this problem we add a QUE to the yo form. This is now correctly pronounced toque. We don't have an issue with the other forms because the other forms start with either an A or an O. Some other verbs that you may come across in your Spanish class that end in car are, again, all of these verbs are going to end in a QUE. We still have the accent mark on the E in the yo form. The other forms do not require a spelling change. The second group is the GAR group. The verb llegar ends in GAR. If we simply put an E on the end of the stem for the yo form, it would be pronounced yehe. We want to keep the original sound of the infinitive, which is the hard G sound, the G sound, so we spell it with a GUE. This is now pronounced correctly, llegué. Again, llegaste, llegó, llegamos, llegaron don't require a spelling change. Other GAR words you may come across in class. The final group is ZAR words. These don't necessarily mean a pronunciation change, but we cannot spell the yo form with a we cannot spell the yo form with a ZE. To solve the problem, the yo form is simply spelled with a C. Crucé. The ZA and ZO endings for the other forms don't require the spelling change. Other verbs that end in ZAR are practiquemos. You informal ate lunch. Tú almorzaste. Does not require spelling change. Almorzar is a ZAR verb, and because it's in the to form, We don't need to change it to a C. I paid. Yo pagué does require the spelling change to preserve the hard G sound of the infinitive, so it's spelled with a G-U-E. They, a group of women, looked for. Ellas buscaron. We crossed. Nosotros cruzamos. I chewed. Yo mastiqué. Please make sure that you spell this with a Q-U-E, since masticar is a car verb and we are using the yo form. Rosa and I played a game. Rosa y yo jugamos. Miguel and Yvette tripped. The verb to trip is tropezar, which is a Z-A-R, but because it's Miguel and Yvette, we do not need a spelling change. Miguel e Yvette tropezaron. And finally, I began does require the spelling change because it's the yo form. Yo comencé or yo empecé, both end in Z-A-R, so we need to change it to a C-E. Gracias por ver este video y te deseo mucho éxito.